Okay. So you guys want to see two-player housing? Here it is. So you can see we kind of have a little smeechy friend in the front yard here. Backyard, I guess this is technically. But here's the two-player housing inside. And each house will have mailbox, personal bank, and your coin bank. These are miniaturized, but it works. So we're going to kind of wander over here. Alright. So we're going to add some more stuff, but for now what we have for community is the mailbox and the infinite water source. So you guys can make stews at your guys' house, and you don't have to wander all the way in town for it. Okay? So we already went over this, but this is what comes with the house already. And prices are going to be determined later. We'll have a spreadsheet for you guys. So here's the objects that are available to buy in the store, or for your house. Sorry. But bag hook, obviously. Got a weapon tool rack. Got kegs. Stew stand. Weapon detooler, and we've got a couple different types of storage, including a chest, just in case you want a chest cook. Okay. You guys want to know whether you could do greenery and stuff like that, and we can have greenery in your backyards, so you can have up to 6 things. Alright. You can have up to 6 plants in your yard, but you can, mix whatever you want. And that's pretty much it for that. You guys had some questions, and I'm going to go through those now. So, give me a second. Alright, so this is kind of an overview of our housing. I know you guys have lots of questions, so we tried to compile all of them, and I'm just going to try and go through them right now. Let's see here. So you asked, how are we going to keep people from stealing from houses? I feel like that's the most important question, and we're going to answer that at the end, so just stick around. You guys are wondering whether it's a one-time payment for a house, or it's kind of continuous over, say, months or weeks. It will be a one-time payment for it. You'll just pay the coins up front, and then you can buy your household stuff as you go. So you don't need to do it all in one sum, but if you've got the coin, you could always do it. You're also wanting to know how many players are in a housing. So right now, what you're viewing right now are 2-player housing, which is supplied to you by Ladder. Fire's gone ahead and made us some gorgeous 5-player housing, which we haven't yet placed in, but it is made, so don't worry about that. Some of you may have heard that we were going to do 10-player housing. At this point in time, we aren't bringing it out. Whether we're going to do it in the future, a couple months coming, who knows, but at this point in time, we've got 2-player housing and 5-player housing. You're wanting to know whether there's extra storage that can be in houses. We did already go over that. We'll have about 4 different types of storage. 5 if you count the weapon rack. So hopefully that's enough storage for you guys. The amounts which you're allowed to have for each house, I'm going to do up on the spreadsheet. So I'm not going to cover exact amounts and costs in here. The location of this housing is, if everybody knows where the woodcutting hut is, we have it right behind the woodcutting hut. At this point in time, we're not going to be putting in blacksmith or carpentry benches or a bag making supplies at this point in time. We just don't want to take you guys out of town right now. We want to kind of try and keep everybody in town. Your houses are really just for storing stuff and to keep it safe, right? People like to use little hiding spots and stuff like that, which are great, but we can't protect those, unfortunately. So, and thank you for those that understand that. But this is hopefully a safe spot that nobody can get into except for you, and you can keep your stuff here. Some of you are wondering if there's enough housing for everyone. At this current time, this one location is what we have set up. We're approximating there should be enough housing for about 44 people, but there is room for expansion. I do have a secondary location. So is there enough housing for everyone? We don't really know. We're planning on trying to make as much housing as we can, so that we can cover everyone. But we're just going to launch the first area, and if we need more, or it looks like we're starting to use that up, then I'll see about expanding. I want to be able to make enough housing for everybody. So, short, long answer. But, yeah. The other one is, can you own multiple houses? No, because there's not really a need for multiple housing. And if you're looking at, saying, renting things out, it's a lot harder for us to have to set that up. So, at this point in time, for people owning multiple housing, it's going to be a no, unfortunately. But obviously you can upgrade your current house with a little bit more space if you need it. So hopefully there won't be a need for that. You're wondering what happens to houses after a wipe. Well, that one's pretty simple. So what we're going to do is blueprint all your housing. So where you had your shelves, everything else, we're going to blueprint all that. And we're going to take it to our testing server, which is currently where we're at. And we're going to place everything down there and then copy it as a prefab for you that know what that is. But we're not going to copy your stuff. So when it's time for wipe day, if everyone can pull their stuff, I know some people have alts and stuff that can come in and pull their bags, which is fine. You can do that. And then what we can do from there is do the wipe, and then all your houses will be preset back up. So when we load back up the world, we'll load everything that needs to be in it, all the housing, all the other stuff that's in town, all at the same time. So you should be able to log right back in, go right back to your house, and put it away. So there should be no, if it becomes an issue with the sandstone bridge, because you do need the sandstone bridge to pop over here, we might just automatically make that when we first pop in the server, because we don't want to lock you guys out of your housing. And the sandstone bridge isn't a big thing anyways. We can more than compensate for that. So you're also wanting to know, if you buy a house, are you kind of stuck with it, or do you just lose all the coin if you decide not to use it? And that question is a yes and a no. Do you get your coin back? Some of it. I will be doing a 50% return. Now, if you decide to sell it to somebody else, you can do that too. That's always an option. But for right now, if you were to sell it back to us, it would be at a 50% return. So, yeah. Now, the other question I was asked was, when housing comes in from Alta, when they make their housing finally, which we're kind of assuming is going to happen early next year, but we don't really know for sure. What happens to your house then? Well, I'm looking at removing the housing at that point. I feel like they would do a better job than we do, plus it'll be more long-term housing for them, rather than kind of what we're doing, which is just kind of filling that blank till it's in. So the idea then would be, we're going to buy back all your homes from you. So again, it's going to be at a 50% loss, but I'll keep track of what everyone spends on their home so that we can refund the amount back to them. I got some odd questions, like, can we have wallpaper and welcome mats? It's not readily available to us in the game, and what the devs have given us is kind of all we're able to put in. So mats and wallpaper just aren't a thing in the game, so we can't put them in here. So we're kind of limited to that. You also said, is customization limited to cosmetics? I'm assuming that's kind of falling in that same category. And unfortunately right now, yes. I mean, we can place your shelves where you kind of want them and style the inside. And place some stuff outside so we can kind of customize a little bit. So you look different than your neighbor. But the short end of it, you can't customize as much as you guys would like to right now. Hopefully Alta will bring us that kind of power later on. There's also questions about, can we have chicken coops or animals and stuff at our place? Yeah, I mean, if you can lure animals over here and try and shove a babu in your house, I mean, you can keep it. But at this point in time, we're kind of more looking for you to bring that in. We're not going to have a chicken spawner in one spot, so you're not going to have chicken spawn at your house. We just feel that's unfair. Can we have display cases? Well, there's already a display rack, so we're kind of limited to that for now. It kind of looks like Fire's kind of cooking up something, so maybe we might have a nicer looking display case here in the future. But for now, we're kind of limited to, again, what Alta supplies us with. So you're wondering how many people you'll have in a neighborhood. So right now we have them set up in chunks, and we're going to count those as neighborhoods. We have 3 chunks set up, but we have about 10 people in each chunk. So with them being 2-player homes, garbage. Okay, come on. Alright, so you guys were wondering how many players are going to be in a neighborhood. So at this point in time, we have the smaller housing set up for 2 people apiece, and we've got 5 of those in a chunk. So that chunk, basically you'll have 10 people having access to that entire area. You're not allowed to have anybody else, or your neighbors aren't allowed to come inside your borders and stuff. There'll be pretty strict rules on that, because if you see somebody coming in your house and they're looking around without your permission, they can be booted out of that chunk, and they can never own housing. They lose all that amount of gold. So it's pretty risky to be messing around with other people's stuff. Saying that, there's only going to be a max of 10 people that are inside that, so it's going to be too easy for us to find out who it is that's taking stuff. And for those that are buying housing, spending all the time doing it, it's not going to be worthwhile just to get a couple extra items. So yeah, hopefully that answers that question. So there's 10 people, 5 housing, all in one little chunk, and that we're counting as a neighborhood. You're wanting to know if there's going to be special things that only homeowners are going to be able to have access to. So small housing things that are going to be storing materials and metals and stuff like that, woods, that you can earn access to. No. And the reason for that is we just don't want to make it seem like you have to pay to get ahead in this. The idea is everyone gets the same kind of chance with it. Housing's kind of just a spot to store your stuff. It's not somewhere where you're going to hang out all the time and spend a lot of time there. Again, we kind of want to keep you in town and keep everything populated. So again, just to kind of cover it again, the amount of housing we have right now is enough to supply 44 people with, and everyone can have one housing. So the idea is to partner up with between 2 to 5 people, 2 for the 2-player housing, obviously, and 5 for the 5. At this point in time, we're not looking to have everyone have their individual house, just because we don't know how limited the houses are. So we could look at maybe having one person per housing if we get enough housing out there. But for the time being, you have to kind of partner up. So find somebody that you don't mind sharing a building with. You can split the cost. Makes it easier to get a house. And yeah, and hopefully everybody can have one then. People have been asking a lot of questions to our builders and stuff. And I understand that we might not cover everything here, which I'm kind of hoping to try and cover everything. But our builders are only able to release enough information, kind of keep you guys excited. So we're not letting them release specific details, and it's not up to them for that. They are going to do the building and stuff, and they're doing a remarkable job. The only thing is when they have to answer questions or tell people they can't answer them, it just kind of slows them down right now. And we don't want to break their focus, because right now we're on track with housing. So for those that don't know, we're aiming for this Tuesday. It's a lot to do still, and we're on track right now. So hopefully we'll have everything done by Sunday, and we're able to do up the final little details and bring it to you guys on Tuesday. And you guys should see housing in on Tuesday, just slap down there. So but for right now, if you guys have questions and stuff, you could come to me. I could maybe try and answer them the best I can. If I gotta release another video for like Q&A kind of deal, then I'll try and do that for you guys for sure. But for right now, let's try not to bug the builder team, okay? And I do appreciate everybody for the questions and for the excitement, though. It looks like you guys are kind of wanting teleportation potion and stuff here. At this point in time, we just feel like that's not fair. The TP isn't really that far away from the main area anyways, and again, it's another area for people to explore, and we don't want to eliminate that area. We still want to make all the areas usable. So we're not going to be putting anything like that there. We do have an infinite water source, because we do understand if you get a cooking stand, you don't want to be going into town to go get it. So we'll have it there in the community for everybody to use. Will there be a way for you guys to send each other items and stuff? Yes, we've got the post box and stuff like that, and everyone has a mailbox at their house, so you'll be able to get your items in. Lock boxes and stuff are all included in there, of course. Again, we covered the plants and garden. You can have up to 6 things in your garden. We do this because it's going to create lag if everyone has 60 pumpkins in their yard. Besides it not being necessary, it's a waste of server right now. So we're going to try and keep it to a maximum of 6. We may have to adjust that in the future, but for right now, we think that 6 will not strain the server out. Anyways. So the most important question, and I started off with it, but we're going to kind of answer it in kind of a goofy way. So the big question is, how will we keep players' houses safe from other players stealing them? Well, unfortunately, we can't just walk up and say, hey, everyone needs to stay out of these houses if you don't own them. Because griefers, they don't really care. They come here to cause havoc, and they don't really care whether they're banned or not, which is kind of a sad thing. Definitely because I know you guys are such a great community. And yeah. So we have barriers set up in place. If you're wanting to see those barriers, I'm going to clip to like a little skit right now that's going to kind of show that. So we might as well do that now. And go ahead.
Guess what? I just got a house in Timeship.
Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna go grief you later.
Wait.
Hey, Jelly.
Hey. So,
Hey, Letter. How's your housing going so far?
pretty good. Just doing some gardening.
It's pretty good.
But,
Some guy earlier said though that he was gonna come steal all of our stuff.
Oh, what was his name?
Mac. I think it was spelled M-A-K.
Oh, that's okay. You can't get in here anyways. So, everything's safe inside here.
That's good. How do you do that?
I don't have to do anything. It just does it on its own. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah.
That's nice.
Wait, there he is.
Oh. Hey, Mac. Yeah, no. You can't come in here. Yeah, no, this
I don't
is...
have to listen to you.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Oh wow.
Yeah, see? Just kind of does it automatically. You don't need to worry about it at all. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Alright, well, if you guys stuck through that awful skit that we did, thank you. Hopefully it answered all you guys' questions. Again, if you've got anything that you want to talk to me about, feel free to message me. But for now, like I said, if we can maybe not ask the builders too many questions, they've got a lot of work to do. Other than that, thank you for playing Timeship. And hopefully we got housing coming in Tuesday and everyone enjoys it. And yeah, thank you guys for being a great community. So I'm going to end it here. And like I said, you can feel free to post questions and stuff. Just DM me. Either just need clarification or not. So anyways, see ya.